Hi there. This is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about novel strategies to hit back at coronavirus. And this is a plea for us all to cooperate and do this together. Uh, and that's plasma antibody transfusion. What's the basic science behind this, and do you understand what it's doing? And here it is. When you were born, your body is an absolute blank slate of immunity. A newborn picks up mom's antibodies, and mom has spent 20 to 30 some years being exposed to various infections and making antibody memories to them, or vaccinations. And those antibodies all move into the child's blood, such that a newborn in the first 6 weeks with a fever is a very unusual thing, and you should take it terribly seriously. But as a general rule, babies don't get fevers for about 6 months because they're coasting on mom's antibodies. But those antibodies gradually fade away and get used up and disappear. And about starting at 6 months, kids start getting infections all over the place. But by that time, their thymus gland has moved into high gear and they're putting out thymosin A peptide that turns their immune system on abundantly. And they're making antibodies. In fact, every time they get an infection, they get a fever of 104. And they don't look very sick, but by golly, they are having all these viruses. Average child has 12 to 16 fevers from 6 months to 18 months. Sometimes we blame it on teething. It may be teething, but it's probably just all the viruses going through. How does this relate to COVID? Well, we in the House of Medicine have been practicing giving people antibodies for about 100 years now. And for a while we were doing tetanus shots, giving tetanus antibodies from horses. I had that done to me as a child, and guess what your body does when you're given a tetanus shot with horse protein? You bet. The second time you get it, you have a horrible serum sickness reaction. I can tell you all about that. You get hives all over, you can possibly kill off your kidneys, you can be sicker than a dog with that serum sickness. So that strategy is pretty limited, getting other people's antibodies. But if I had a real bad snake bite, I might be willing to take that, just in the context. So there are a few isolated cases where other people's or other species' antibodies protect us from and the sudden immune assault that we need immediate response to before our immune system can respond. We don't all have rabies or such and so on and so forth. How does that relate to COVID? Well, right now, we're in that terrible crisis of not having any effective treatments, but human antibodies with human antigens don't make that same immune response. And in fact, plasma is filled with those antigens. And right now there is a scramble to find people willing to donate and willing to give. And there's been a little bit of a hint that that may be a remarkably positive strategy. But it's only going to work if those people who recover are willing to donate plasma. So that's the plea in this call. It may be your life-saving thing. If somebody comes to you, if you're sick and terribly ill, you want to have it given to you the second you get to the hospital, not when you're so sick you're on a ventilator. We want this strategy to be widely and abundantly available. So please volunteer to donate it, and please be open to getting it and signing up to be in a study if you're in it. And God forbid you get it. Right now, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay home, and hope you don't get this wicked disease. We're looking forward to that vaccine to come along and following the story closely. This is Dr. John Whitcomb, hoping he doesn't get COVID-19.